Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing about the US-Israel and Iran war and its development. What is happening right now is Spain, which is a member of NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization, has basically closed its airspace for the United States of America. Now, why this is important, we will understand that. I'll also tell you what the concept of NATO is and why it is a big thing that Spain, a member of NATO, is denying United States the airspace. And what is the reasoning behind that? What reasoning is Spain giving, but also what other reasonings can be present for this move by Spain? So let us get started with respect to this news. So the news is about Spain closing its airspace to the United States of America amid the USA-Israel / Iran war. These are the two aggressor countries against Iran, which has led to the ongoing war that is. Now, this is coming in the backdrop of the escalation of this conflict, wherein Spain has emerged as a dissenting voice in NATO or among NATO. Okay. Now, further detail on this Spain's decision. Let us see what has actually happened. They have closed the airspace to US aircraft which are involved in the Iranian strikes or strikes on Iran. So it is not just that, it is not that the complete airspace is closed. What is closed is that if you are using the Spain's airspace for targeting Iran, you will not be allowed to do so. That means your fighter jets will not be allowed, your AWACS, which will not be allowed. AWACS is basically the airborne warning and control system aircraft, which flies to control, coordinate with the fighter jets. All those things would be not allowed over the airspace of USA, of Spain. Hence, they have denied the use of the Mon air base, the Rota naval base, so on and so forth. The only exception, the exception is there, of course. Exception, for example, emergency transit. Landing is allowed for emergency reasons and for other reasons which are not connected to the strike on Iran. So this is what the entire detailed step by Spain is. Now, what is the legal basis and stand of Spain? Now, why do Spain has to have a legal basis of doing this? Let's understand that. Because Spain is a member of NATO. Now, what is NATO? This is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Right, what is this? This consists of the United States of America plus the European countries. What is this all about? It is a military agreement. It's not trade, but a military agreement wherein an attack on one country of one member of NATO is considered to be attack on all the members of NATO. Now, in this scenario, Spain should have not taken this step because attack on USA should be considered attack on every country. So you have to allow. But the concern here is what? It's not that Iran has attacked USA first. Of course not. It's USA who is the aggressor, who has attacked and who is still attacking, whereas Iran is defending, as a result of which when USA started the attack along with Israel, basically USA did not consider, or you can say USA and Israel disregarded the sovereignty and integrity of Iran as a country. And hence the reasoning here is Spain is calling the US strikes a violation of the international laws. The international laws do not allow you to break or target the country and disrupt its sovereignty and integrity. The principles that they are invoking here, as I mentioned, is sovereignty of the states, the United Nations charters, and the anti-war stance that is there, that you yourself will not go to war. But yes, if someone is attacking you, right, that is when an attack on one country is considered an attack on all the members of NATO. So now what impact will it have on the US military operations? Of course, it will disrupt the air operations. Now through air operations there are also transportation that takes place. So not just the fighter jets, but the aircraft not the aircraft carriers, the aircraft which actually carry other equipment, all those things would be disrupted, right? So this can lead to what? Does that mean now USA will be completely handicapped? Absolutely not. They can take other routes. It is just that other routes will be longer, as a result of which there will be delays. The routes will be leading to delayed transportation and stuff. Reduced payload efficiency. Payload efficiency reduce means if you are traveling for a longer distance, you cannot carry the same amount of payload because the fueling in that is the same. It will consume more fuel, so less payload and all will be there. Increased operational risk because you are in air for a longer time. Now what is USA's reaction to this? So USA of course keeps on criticizing everyone. Here also it has criticized, basically USA has criticized this decision of Spain, right? And Donald Trump has also threatened, like he always does, here also he has threatened Spain with trade trade threats, as in tariff war, sanctions, so on and so forth. Now what is the NATO angle over here? As I already mentioned, in this organization, attack on one considered attack on all, these are allied countries. So what is happening is the cohesion of NATO will be questioned. What could have happened which would have not questioned cohesion would have been that all the members stand up together and say that we are closing our airspace and leave USA alone. Then USA would be basically on its own the odd one out. But you cannot do that because USA is the most powerful military in the entire European Union, probably more powerful than all the European nations combined together, right? So Spain US growing difference, we can clearly see this disagreement between on Iran war, defense spending, Israel Gaza conflict, which was going on previously as well. Spain's stance is anti-war stance and arms embargo on Israel. Arms embargo means curtailing arms to or stopping arms to Israel. Now these are the reasons that Spain has given. However, let us understand what all other motivations are behind Spain's move of basically closing the airspace. The move can be motivated for the fact of or based on the domestic politics. Now the government in Spain presently is a fragile coalition government. When there is a coalition government, you have to pay heed to the other political parties who are a part of your government. If you don't, they may take away their support and you will lose the confidence, as a result of which there would be other political parties in the coalition who are against the war, as a result of which the Spain's government will have to sort of take this action of closing the space to ensure that their government is still intact, right? And then there is support from the left-wing anti-war groups as well. So the other political parties in this coalition comes from the left wing who has an anti-war stance, as a result of which the entire Spain's government is coming out with the same stance as the stance of the other political parties in its coalition government. Now what are the implications of this? This will lead to European strategic autonomy, and within NATO also, since one country is now dissenting, referencing that other countries can also dissent, leading to domino effect. In other situations, this time it is Spain with respect to this war. In future there can be another country with respect to some other war or other conflict or other issue which may arise in the future. This dissent, however, is one of the rarest of rare cases in NATO, because in NATO nation what happens is an attack on one country is considered as an attack on all the NATO members, so they unite together to address that attack. However, the moral high ground of Spain can be said to be present over here, because it was not USA who got attacked, rather it was USA who was the aggressor, hence taking the moral high ground. And the argument that the sovereignty of Iran was disrupted by USA, Spain has taken this decision. But of course, we also know that the decision to some extent was politically motivated as well. So you can argue it is a mix of political motivation, but at the same time invoking of the NATO principles of hindering in the sovereignty of another nation. So stay tuned with Legacy IAS Academy for more such informative videos. Thank you.